our way to Denver, we were all excited. My mom, dad, little brother, big brother, and me. We were on our way, but suddenly we couldn't go forward anymore. My dad checked everything, and he told us that the tire got stuck on a pile of snow because it was snowing at that time. My dad was trying to take the snow off the tire while my big brother tried to drive, but we still couldn't. We called my dad's friend to help us with the truck. When he got there, he had his tools to get the truck out of the snow. His tools did work, so we decided to follow him in case it would happen again. At 11:35 p.m., we finally got to the house. We met all his family before we all went to sleep. He had 3 kids, Daniel, Denise, and Lupita. Daniel was the same size as me. Denise was 15 and Lupita was 14. At 12:30 p.m., we were getting ready to get to a Sweet 16. I was really sleepy, but I had to get ready. Denise curled my hair. It took 2 hours to put it up, but we finally got it. At 2:30 p.m., I got dressed and put makeup on. At 3:15 p.m., we were all on our way to the party. While we were at the party, we were all bored, so Denise said we should just go home. So we did. When we got there, we all had a family. It was the best vacation I ever had and will have.
Very nice, Alejandra.
When I went to my expedition, it was to California. When I went, it was 2 years ago. I went in a car and came back in an airplane. I will always remember it. We left one day in the summer. We left in a car, well, in a van, a pool van. There were like 6 people in the van. It was me, my uncle, my aunt, my cousin, and my grandmother. When we stopped, it was to eat or get gasoline. But we were lucky to stop in Six Flags. When we were close to getting there, he said to go to sleep, but I didn't obey him, but it was close in all I saw in California. When we got there, we went out and everything. We even went to a drive-in. It was packed with people. We watched the movie of a witch, but we didn't leave, and we watched another movie. It was Despicable Me. And when we were leaving, I met a guy. I barely know that it was a family friend. When we came back, there were 3 people. Me, my cousin, and my grandmother. It was fun. Well, we passed through 4 states, but all I saw was clouds because we came back in a plane. We got picked up by my uncle. They were amazed that we didn't complain. It was the best thing that ever happened. In this journey, I learned something new. It's that my grandmother doesn't like planes. She's kind of annoying, but if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't go to California. So I appreciate it.
In Santa Fe, New Mexico. It was in the highway and I was sweating even though it was cold. I was scared, restless, and excited. We were racing. My brother was driving with my sister. I was around 5 or 6 years old, and I was in the back seat. My brother was 16 years old, and he loved to get in trouble. It was more like his snack. My sister was 15, and she thought that we shouldn't do this. I thought she was scared. My brother said if I kept my mouth shut, he would buy me candy for the whole week. It was the most amazing thing that has happened, and now you will know what I know, and we'll all know. It all happened when my brother Ivan and my sister Adriana and I went out to go eat, but it ended up as a race for my brother and some of his friends he met on the road. At first, it was just a little race, which ended up in the highway. When we got there, my brother got out and got in one of his friend's motorcycles. My brother won by an inch. Some called it a tie, but I don't. Once they were back, we heard police sirens. It was every man for himself. Someone screamed, "Taco Bell is where we meet," and we all laughed. I was scared because of my brother, and I needed to pee. We all met at Taco Bell, and my brother was there, not to mention that I got to pee. It was barely 3, so they decided to have another race. We were all at the highway again. This time my brother decided to race on cart. What I decided was that I was going whether he liked it or not. My sister, as my babysitter, had to get on the cart. She hated me for that. When the race was about to start, I wanted to change my mind, but lucky me, it was too late. I liked it though, and my brother had his weird music all the way, so it was pretty cool. When my brother was racing, it felt awesome because 1, I was 6 years old, and 2, it was a new experience for me. Even in the back, I could feel the engine running. I saw everything pass quickly, but it only lasted for a few minutes because guess what? Police sirens. That was what we heard. My brother instantly turned around and headed to the road where all the cars were. The scary part was that we almost got caught, but one of the fun part was the way we went through the road. It felt like I was going to die. So in this one part, when my brother was driving, we almost crashed. Not to mention, we almost flipped over, and thank God I had my belt or I wouldn't be here. My brother was finally slowing down, and when he turned, the car flipped. Not literally, but when it turned to the side. My brother turned the wheel the other way, it spun back hard. My seatbelt unbuckled, and I went to the other side of the car. My brother bought me chocolate, so I wouldn't say anything, but I wasn't satisfied. So I told him he had to bring me candy for 3 weeks, plus 1 other week, because he promised in the beginning of the race that he would buy me some, so that made 4. And I was satisfied with that.
I went on a journey to New York on the summer of 2006. I went there because my family always wanted to visit there since they thought maybe they were planning to go there. And plus some of our family members were there living there. In addition, we all had fun going there. Finally, that is why I went on a journey. My family always wanted to go there to New York, so they did. They always wanted to go there because when my parents got married, they wanted to go to New York. It was their honeymoon. Also because they wanted to know how it looked like and feel like. Then some of my family lived there. My uncle Felipe was living there for 3 years. Also, he worked as a manager in a restaurant. Additionally, I had to live in his home for 3 weeks. In addition, we had to sleep on the floor. Plus, he had a dog and it was annoying. In my journey, it was fun because we always ate in my uncle's restaurant. Plus, his food was really delicious. Additionally, some of the places we visited there was boring. Sometimes it was painful for my legs because we had to walk a lot. And in conclusion, my journey to New York was fabulous. First, it was interesting knowing about my family always wanted to go there. Plus that my uncle was living there. Finally, that this is why my journey was fun.
It was April, and in 2 days we were getting out of school for spring break. I wasn't. That day was my last one. Because I was going on a trip to California. My mom was going, my brother, sister, uncle, auntie, cousin, and me. All the family. Part of me didn't want to go because I wanted to be with my friends. Part of me did want to go because I was going to meet more of my family. And of course, California, a state where I always wanted to go. This was going to be a new experience for me, meeting family members and getting to know a state. My mom said it was worth it going. I didn't think the same. It was dark when my family decided to leave. It was 8 p.m. when I looked at the clock for the last time. And that time I was saying goodbye to my friends. I'm not the kind of person who falls asleep so fast. I was awake for a few hours. When I finally got to have some rest, it was when we were getting out of Albuquerque. When I woke up, I realized we were in Arizona. That day, I didn't want talking to anyone. I couldn't be 1 more minute in that car. I had to get out. I was so frustrated. California was cool, but you couldn't see much. There was a lot of smoke. When we got to my uncle's house, I got so happy because I got to stretch. It felt good.
to know more of my family. My auntie was pretty nice to us. My cousins were weird. We thought they were weird because we didn't thought the same. When my uncle came to receive us with a big hug, I started talking to my cousins because they looked so shocked. The real thing was that we weren't going for vacation. My mom wanted to see her uncle and auntie too. He was sick. My mom and my uncle wanted to visit him to see how was he. When we got to their house, I was amazed. Their house was fine, but what really made me was their garden. Their garden was one of the most beautiful ones I'd ever seen. They had almost every fruit tree. Of course, I had to go explore it. They had very curious birds with different colors. They had this little dog, but I hated her because she wouldn't stop barking at me. I know I have cats, but after my trip to California, not so many things changed. Everything was back to normal. Spring break went faster than I ever thought it would so fun. I kind of thought of that trip a lot for the following past days and made me realize that my mom was right. It was worth going to visit my family because I've never seen them, but I know I have. It made me realize that sometimes I just have to get out of my comfort zone. This was my favorite trip because there were some people who made this trip the best trip I ever had.
My favorite trip was when me and my family went to California, more specific to Disneyland. We went on a minivan we had that was really uncomfortable. We went on that trip on 2008 when I was 7 years old. The trip was very long. It took around 18 hours from Santa Fe to California. The trip was long, but when we got to California, it was worth it. We got to our hotel. It was very chilly, but it was the best thing because the temperature said it was on 87 degrees. I never thought it would be that hot, but the next day we went out for excitement. We got to Disneyland and the worst thing happened. We were in line for tickets, but there was the worst beginning. The line of people was even longer than the 300 feet subway. It took around 45 minutes to go first. Then the guy cut us in line with his whole family. There were some announcements that the ticket sellers were going to lunch. The replacement got there after 10 minutes. That was really unexpected to wait 45 minutes in line, but we got inside. The second thing I really didn't like was that I couldn't say hi to Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse was always moving around the park, so he moved really fast. We tried to say hi to him, but he said he had to go inside. We saw him in a spot. He was always there. We wanted to say hi to him, but his helper always said that Mickey Mouse is tired. Now he has to go inside. That really made my day really bad. That day was really impossible to say hi to him. I wished I hadn't even gone. The thing that I liked was the Mickey Mouse show. The show was of Mickey Mouse using his wand. The water had colors and it had smoke. That show really made my day really good. Mickey Mouse moved his wand to the right and the water raised up. Fireworks were lighted and they were of many cartoons and animations. The Mickey Mouse said that he would be giving out Mickey Mouse ears with lights. That was the best thing in my life. I learned something on that day. What I learned on that day was that even in the worst day, there's something good. The next day of our trip, we came back and I have several portraits on my house, and I remember the good things and bad things that happened. That is my journey.
My journey was going to Denver, Colorado. My family and I went to Denver last year by car. I went to Denver for vacation and to go visit some family members that I hadn't seen in a very long time. One day I got a phone call from my aunt. She told me that she really wanted to see us. My mom started to talk to her, and when she was done, She told me to start packing all my stuff because the next day we were leaving. It took 6 hours to get there. The next day, we woke up, ate breakfast, and left to go shopping. When we arrived to the mall, it seemed bigger than the one in Santa Fe. It had many more stores. We left the mall and left to the Bronco Stadium. We took a lot of pictures there. The second day we were there, there were a lot of animals that, wait. We went to the zoo. There were a lot of animals that are in the Santa Fe Zoo. After the zoo, we went to Water World, which was really cool. The third day, we went to go eat at my aunt's restaurant. And when we were done eating and left and packed all of our stuff, when we were done eating, we left and packed all our stuff so we can head back home. I really like Denver, Colorado. I hope I go back again. By going to Denver, Colorado, I noticed that I like visiting places.
Me and my family were going to Denver, Colorado to a water park. We started our trip in my grandma's house because we were visiting. We all wanted to go to Colorado, so we got in a car and started driving. We were driving in my uncle's car and it was too crowded. On our way, we had to stop because we got a flat tire. Me, my dad, and my uncle were fixing the tire. Then we went back to get gas, but some of the machines didn't work, so we had to wait there for like 5-10 minutes because there was a big line. Then when we got gas, we started driving again. Then 5 minutes later, my little brother had to use the bathroom. We head back to the gas station. There in the gas station, we all went to the bathroom. And when we got back on the road, there was a man that helped pushing his car to the gas station. When we finally left the gas station, there was a few miles ahead, there was an accident. There was a lot of traffic. We were in the traffic for almost 35 minutes. And when we left the traffic, we finally got to go around. This was one of my worst trips. I didn't like it because there was a lot of interruptions on the way.
Thank you, Edgar.
Hi, my name is Norman. My famous Disneyland adventure that I went on when I was in the
What?
There's a big pool and I went right there. It was really fun. There's a lot of beauty there. It is funner than Christmas.